Welcome to Sinlock Park.
Hi, Chris Blaze here for Designer Diary with Danny Ing. He is the director of Sinlock Society of Calgary. Welcome, Danny.
Hi Chris, how you doing?
Wonderful to meet you, Danny. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Danny, could you tell me a bit about your role as the director? What is it you're responsible for?
So, as a director, I've been a director for 13 years when I came on board. So, 13 years, my main role is the gala chair, to run the Chinese New Year galas. Yeah, to organize that.
Excellent. And isn't this a great space? Look where we are. We are at Sinlock Park. This is one of 4 of the build challenges within Level Up Calgary Season 2 Achievement Unlocked. So our students will redesign. We're inside the pagoda at the moment, which you will find in Minecraft, as well as off in the distance you can see Gold Mountain, and that is another structure that our students will find in the world. All right, Danny, so from Sinlock, we are now relocated over to Calgary Court Restaurant to continue our interview, and I'm just curious if you can tell me what the significance is of Sinlock.
Well, Sinlock Society, what Sinlock means is happiness and good works, right? So what we've done is tried to translate all of that, and when we translate all of that, we went into preserving the Canadian or Chinese Canadian culture, right? And what that means is really it's the firstborn kids of immigrants, right? So, for example, my father came from China, and then I was the very firstborn, so I'm the descendant, right? So I'm the first Chinese-born Canadian. So the Sinlock Society promotes and preserves Canadian Chinese culture, Chinese Canadian culture, and that specific slice is us. It's us kids that always acted as bridges, right? So Sinlock, why I was attracted to Sinlock was because of the fact that it catered to us kids, right? So not only do we want to promote and preserve our culture moving forward, right? But we also want to pay homage to all those that were before us. So my grandfather, for example, he came in 1914, right? And that was 1914, and then he passed away 50 years later. He was 70, and he was passed away in the left. So between 20 years old when he came to Canada, single, to when he passed away, to here I am, right? I mean, that his journey, most of his life was in Canada. It wasn't in China. Yeah, there was that urge and that sense of tradition and culture that they kept. And so Sinlock, we want to do that. We want to keep promoting that. And one of the ways that we've done is, Chris, you were at the Chinese New Year Gala, right? Yeah, and that was our 54th gala. So, I mean, that in itself, I think, is a nice, something a tradition that can continue, and that's what we want to share.
Beautiful message. So, how would you say, so Chinatown, of course, is noted as one of the most culturally distinct areas and a must-see for visitors to Calgary, and here we are in Chinatown, which is actually the 3rd location of Chinatown, which is interesting. I know our students will be delving into some of that rich history as they investigate into the site for the purposes of the Minecraft Challenge and beyond. So our students, as you know, will be providing input into the redesign of the park. And I'm curious, what advice might you give to them? Like, what's important for them to remember, keep in mind as they design their portraits for the park?
So what you got to keep in mind is who's going to use the park? Who do you want to attract in the park? Where's the park located? right? So the park is located in the heart of Chinatown. It's the only green space in Chinatown, and it's right beside the Bow River. So access to the Bow River is not as good, right? But there's a nice pathway walking, that connects Eau Claire to East Village, along the pathway, and it's beautiful that way. So you also have to look at all the people that live around here. Who are they, right? And if you can design the park in a way that gives them amenities, right, for these people that live here. I think you have to leverage what's going on in the city. What other events are happening, because maybe you can be part of that and use the park for it. I don't know, like the some of the other things that you need to think about is festivals. People love festivals. People love marketplaces, right? Well, that park is a perfect place to do that, right? So anybody can set up a pop-up market, right? And I think you guys in Minecraft could probably come up with a million ideas, right?
There's lots of creativity that I know from season one.
That's good. Yeah, I'd like to see them too. I mean, we've come up with ideas. The city has, drafted plans to redesign the whole park, right? And it gets costly, right? So I think what you guys are doing in Minecraft, having the students and stuff, you guys to do it would be awesome. I think we can make something happen, right?
Oh, we're so excited about it. Okay, Danny, I really appreciate your time here. I have one more question for you. So the City of Calgary has a resilient strategy, and one of the ones that I want to focus on for our purposes in this conversation is the definition of social resilience. I'm going to read that out here. So the City of Calgary defines this as a city where people of all backgrounds belong, a community of people who support one another, a vibrant, safe, and secure place to live, work, and play. A city that does not tolerate hate, promotes community engagement and participation, and actively works to address systemic discrimination in all forms. We live our commitment to reconciliation. So my question is around our future for our young people, and thinking about their visions to create a vibrant city center. What's going to draw them to Sinlock? What's going to bring them down to Chinatown to preserve this cultural integrity and importance of this space, but also creating something that is vibrant and appealing to bring them into this site for the future?
Man, that's a tough question.
I'm asking some hard questions.
Yeah, really, this early in the morning. How can we attract the youth down? I don't know. That's a hard question, because I asked that to my son. I said, hey, I know you come down to Chinatown because you have to, because I'm dragging you, right? But you also love the food. So, but I asked him, why, would you like to go to Chinatown? And, sometimes you just say, okay, you don't want to go, you don't want to go. I'm not going to force you. But, so I asked him, so is there anything or attracting you to Chinatown? Like, is there anything interesting that you would like, to go? And he was, no, not really. Well, what do you mean? It's nothing really appealing there. And I'm going, whoa, that's interesting. So how do I address that? Maybe you guys can come up with that. But I think what everybody needs to know here in Chinatown is that there are many associations that have been created or formed over the years of the history of Chinatown. And some of those associations, like this Lee, the Wongs, and the Shawnee Benevolent, those guys are, 100 years old. And those guys were the ones that built Chinatown. But it wasn't because they wanted to just, hey, you're from China, let's get together. And no, it wasn't like that. Back then, 100 years ago, there was a lot of discrimination, right? And you know, it's unfortunate, but they were forced into their community, and they had to, you know, depend on each other. You know, and when they had to depend on each other, they, you know, were always looking for work. Fast forward, you know, to today, Canada Day. It will mark 100 years of the Exclusion Act. And, you know, if you guys don't know what the Exclusion Act, look it up, but it was to stop Chinese people from immigrating to Canada. So what that created for Chinatown is the issue of lonely men, because they couldn't go back to China to, some did, got married, brought their wives over, or they may have met someone here, but a lot of men, you know, died lonely, right? But they found, you know, a life and a community within Chinatown, and they stuck with it. Even today, some of the societies or associations, the one Shawnee Manuma, that just turned 100 years ago, 100 years old last year, and they still conduct their meetings in their original dialect, which is incredible, right? I think nowadays, you know, like there's lots of kids that are being a little bit more interested in China or in their own culture, because you have to respect that. You have to know where your roots are, right? Where did you come from? I've been to China. I've seen where my grandfather grew up, right? And it's really, really cool. Like, you know, it gave me a sense of like taking things for granted, right? You know, some of the nice things that you have here, well, it's not there back then. It was a long time ago. So today it's very successful. So we need to translate that into Chinatown.
Well, and preserving the culture and the heritage, but also stressing that sense of belonging. That it's just belonging for young people, belonging for others, and I'm very hopeful in this redesign, and excited to see what our students will come up with and the ideas that they'll put forward to invite our young people and create that sense of vibrancy downtown. Thank you, Danny Ng. I'm so thankful for your time.
Oh, you're welcome. Quite welcome. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this. This is a great project. Yeah, it's really awesome.
February 16th, launching at CCTC. Chris Blaze signing off, and we will see you on the next one.